Hi and welcome to episode 22 of the 21st Century Pharmacist Show. I'm Billy Weiss, the 21st Century Pharmacist. Pillar 1 of my OptiURX program is God-Given Quality Foods, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in today's episode. Pillar 4 is Science-Based Exercise, which leads into why I need these God-Given Quality Foods and how this works. So after I've done a high-intensity workout, I have a after workout formula or after workout shake that I recommend that people take within maybe an hour or so. We used to talk more about 30 minutes, but now some newer research says that even an hour or even a little longer, if you're not able to get there and get this done by then, is okay. But you can have this pre-made in a shaker and just take it right to the CrossFit gym or wherever you're working out high intensity. Or if you're not far away, just drive home and make this, because it doesn't take long to make. It tastes awesome, and it really helps you rebuild muscle and helps restore your glycogen levels and just helps you recover and feel good. And it's very filling, so you're not overeating right after a workout. So we like to do this, and then a couple hours later, have one of the meals off of our OptiURX program. So here's what we start with. We want to start with either almond milk, and we like to use the organic almond milk, or coconut milk. And we have two different kinds that we usually use at our house depending on which we have. They're only full-fat coconut milk, and they are only in non-BPA lined cans. So we feel that that's very important. And what we typically do is we mix a little bit of each. We use the almond milk and we use some coconut milk, which is what I'll do today, because the almond milk doesn't really have a lot of fat in it. It does have a little bit. The coconut milk has more fat, so we kind of combine them, and it tastes great to combine them, we think, also. So that's the way that my family and I typically do it. Then we're going to have some almond butter, because we want to get some good fat, and it contains some quality carbohydrates, so we want to put some almond butter in. It makes it more filling, the more fat that I have in it, so it gets me through to my 2-hour window or so to have that really nice meal. And then I use a grass-fed, no hormone, no antibiotic, non-GMO whey protein from grass-fed cows that I have here. It is my version at Prescriptions Plus Pharmacies, and we're soon to have an OptiURX label for this protein also. So it's great tasting, it's great for muscle recovery, and it doesn't give me any added sugars or anything, but no artificial sweeteners either, so that's very important to make sure. Most of the protein on the market is denatured or heated and can be damaging to our kidneys, and really doesn't give us the benefit we think that we're getting. It just gives me GI distress. So when we use the right ingredients, we get the right results. And then as some additives that people can or cannot choose to use, you can use like half a banana or half a cup of berries, like blueberries, strawberries. You can do that if you are interested in that. I typically don't, because I want to keep the sugar response and the insulin response as low as possible, and you can go back and watch episodes that I've talked about this on. But if I'm gonna do fruit, after the workout is the proper time to do those kind of things. So you can add half a banana, you could add half a cup of your favorite berries at this point. I typically, again, don't. You can also take some brain octane, and you can pour a teaspoon to a tablespoon of brain octane. If you want to get some more fat, it's great for recovery, it's great for energy. And again, the more fat that I have in this, the more filling that it'll be. So again, it is something that you can choose to do or not do. I typically mix it up. Sometimes I add the brain octane, sometimes I don't, because I'm getting some good fat from my almond butter and I'm getting some good fat from my coconut milk. So it just depends on what you want to do and what your goals are. And I would encourage you to play with it and see what works best for you. There's not necessarily a right or wrong. There's a right and wrong time to do it, and there's right and wrong ingredients. But if we're using the right ingredients, the way you mix them and what you do and don't do, and if you want to mix it up, just play with it. See how you react. Everybody's body reacts a little differently. So see. And then a great thing that I typically do add to mine is a product that I have called Inflamma-Ease. Now, Inflamma-Ease has tons of natural anti-inflammatories. It has great amino acids in it, again, to help my body recover. It has a high level of glutamine, which helps my gut be really healthy and prevent all these help heal that gut. And the leaky gut is certainly an underlying cause of all these autoimmune diseases we're seeing today. So we can combine this and not only make it an after-workout shake, but a very anti-inflammatory shake, a very healthy shake, and so I can do all that. So optional, Inflamma-Ease, optional Brain Octane, optional fruit. Find your base, whether it's almond milk, coconut milk, or a combination, almond butter, and protein. So this is not real difficult, so we just want to shake our almond milk. The amounts do not matter. Now, if you want to measure, you can certainly measure, but it really just depends on how thick or thin you like your protein. You do not have to mix it. I'm going to put it in a Vitamix today, but you can certainly put the dry ingredients in a shaker cup and shake it. It will be not as smooth, not as creamy if you do it that way. So this is the way that most people prefer. We just take and use what coconut milk we want, and then we put it in a glass jar and keep it in the fridge so it's cool for this. So I'll just add some, and you see the lump of fat that's coming out of there. That's okay, that's good, that's what we want. We want to get some really good fats in. And then I'm just going to take, and again, I'm not really measuring. We just do it so often. There's not a right or a wrong. I'm going to take maybe a tablespoonful or so of almond butter. I'm going to take, we'll use vanilla protein today. I'm going to take 1 scoop of my whey protein. Grass-fed, non-GMO, no hormones, no antibiotics. So there's a scooper in each container. So I take 1 scoop. I'm going to leave the fruit off. I told you I don't typically do it. I'm going to leave the Brain Octane off. And for today's purposes, I'm going to leave the Inflamma-Ease off, although I typically add it. But I haven't done a high-intensity workout today, so I'm going to take this with me to work in a shaker cup, and I'm going to have it later, okay? So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to go over to my Vitamix and blend it. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the cup, and it tastes awesome. All right, so I've got all my ingredients in my Vitamix. I'm going to turn it on. You can use any blender. Again, you can use a shaker cup, but a lot of people like it blended because it does make it a little creamier and a little smoother. So just a few seconds, it's all you need. You don't want to heat the protein. So just a few seconds there in my blender. And I'm just gonna pour. And it is awesome to have this. And I like to have my the multivitamin that I created with this. And boom, I have a great recovery going on. And I'm gonna feel good, and my muscles are gonna recover. And it's gonna give me a feeling of not being starved so that I'm not making a bad decision. And in the meantime, I'm going to have my shower, and I'm going to prepare one of my OptiU-RX meals, and I'm going to just eat lots of greens and all the good fats that we talk about at that meal, and I'll be ready to go work out the next day if I choose to. I'll see you next time. Thanks. So this is just a really easy way to get the morning going, do it quick, and it's very healthy at the same time. So I have some ingredients here that I'm going to show you. I have